All right, we are back, you guys. And in case you guys didn't hear, 17 terabytes of Jeffrey Epstein blackmail dropping into the laps of every FBI agent in the country. Gabrielle didn't even know. I told her that I had a huge story that I covered last night that we were going to talk about today, and that's what it is. Because, yeah, I mean, everybody knows that the purpose of Epstein Island was to bring people to the middle of the ocean where there are no international laws, bring a bunch of people and things that you're not allowed to do on the mainland, and say, this is the world for billionaires. That's why everyone hangs out with me, because you can do whatever you want here, except the place was wired for sound and video everywhere. Nothing that you do on that island is not captured on video. Now, how many people want to bet that there have been people murdered on that island?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to bet that there have been children that have been passed around? Yeah. So now that we know that, and I realize people are going to be like, Alex Jones, they have not been watching recently. Okay. Alex Jones's sources are rock solid on all of this stuff. We're going to go through that video. And
I have not been watching.
Yeah. Well, she gets her information from me because she's busy. You know,
I am.
She's a busy girl.
Very.
Speaking of which, any of you guys who are experienced network marketers and want to dive into literally the most lucrative network marketing opportunity that you could possibly imagine.
It's true.
I can tell you this from personal experience. We just spent $15,000 to go on a week-long vacation in Cancun, and I keep having to remind myself, this is not normal. Yeah. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal.
Well, I've been in the industry for 7 years, and this is by far the most generous compensation plan and easiest products to share. But
yeah, it's a nootropic. So it's like people drink it. They're like, they either are going to love it or they're not. And they tend to love it. And then they tend to buy it and buy it and buy it and buy it and buy it. So anyway, if you know anything about network marketing, hit us up.
Reach out.
Well, I guess how should they reach out? Probably email me, realjesseonfire@gmail.com.
There you go.
JesseOnFire@gmail. But that's if you have network marketing experience. We're that busy. Like, we can't train new people. If you have done this before, so you already know what we're talking about. If you don't know what network marketing is, it's not for you. I mean, it could be, but like just somewhere else. But if you already know what we're talking about, hit me up. Anyway, all right. Exactly. So let's do this thing. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to the channel, this would be a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Did we say it on this channel that we are on this video that we might do this all the time? Or
we have not.
That was on our first take.
That was our first take.
So, even though I do this, Gabrielle does that, there is a world where this ends up being what she does, like as much as I do, and we do this channel all the time, multiple times a day. So that could happen very soon, you guys.
It could.
Maybe even sometime in 2025. But if you want us to do this show 3 times a day, you got to tell us in the comments. Otherwise, that's, I mean, this is like actually up for discussion for real.
It is, like for reals.
And you know what else is up for discussion is who's on these videos? Who's on the videos? Do you know how much like video content 14 terabytes is?
A lot.
How many images and videos fit on 14 terabytes? Now, in fairness, I was talking about this on my video because that's how much it is. Okay, like and every single FBI office was just given this like as some huge drop apparently, right? Like they all got 14 terabytes of previously unreleased. Like, Gabrielle, where are you going? You guys, she left because you hadn't subscribed to the channel. You broke her little heart. Because here's the thing, I guess, actually, let me back up because I'm not sure if Gabrielle even knows this. So when the Epstein thing first happened in 2019, everybody, like there were all these rumors about Epstein Island, right? And as a matter of fact, let me show you this little number.
Okay.
This is a clip from 2015. Okay. And this is I'm not sure if he had already announced his candidacy or not. But I'm pretty sure he actually hadn't, because he actually talks about Hillary Clinton in here. And it's kind of in the context of like, if she runs for president.
Okay.
So just listen to this though. It's only 30 seconds long. This is 2015.
Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So
the Clintons are friends of yours.
Ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. That's that's before Epstein was arrested. That's like 5 years before Prince Andrew came out. Okay. Prince Andrew got exposed. That like the Prince Andrew interview where he responded to the allegations was in 2020. Okay, that's 5 years before that. And he's like, ask Prince Andrew about the island. And
wow.
Okay, so continue.
For many times. Well, I can't say friends, but I know.
You're friendly. You know them.
I'm sorry, I talked over that because they talk about Hillary. They say Hillary Clinton. Listen.
Absolute cesspool. So
the Clintons are friends.
And he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many times.
The Clintons are friends.
Well, I can't say friends, but I know.
You're
them.
friendly. You know them.
They play at my clubs a lot. I have clubs, and everybody likes to play at my clubs.
Are you saying there's a political problem for her if she runs for president?
It could be a political problem. Look, he could be a political problem. Right now, he's Teflon, and right now, maybe not. But he could end up being a political problem.
What's so insane about that is everyone knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. That's at the Bloomberg Politics convention.
That's nuts.
He's like, right now, he's Teflon. He's talking about Epstein.
Yeah.
Everyone knew. They're like, this guy is a kitty trafficker. And, it's just one of those things. It's like...
when he says he's Teflon, like nothing sticks, like that's what he's saying. Like there's no...
How much do you know about the Epstein, like the real background of Epstein, like when he got caught and all that? You don't know anything about that?
Mm-mm.
So the reason that the Clintons are directly tied to him is because in 2000, I want to say 2000, don't quote me on the years. I could look this up, but it's not super important. Between there's 2005 to 2008, 9.
Mm-hmm.
He was living in what's it called? The area of Florida where Mar-a-Lago is, right? Where that super wealthy area. He was living there.
Okay.
He was Epstein was, and he was having Maxwell would recruit these high school girls.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey,
massages or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah,
and then he turned it into a network marketing thing where they got paid if they want to recruit more. And so he got 250 girls or something like that to come over there under the, $200 for a massage. And then he would turn them out. Right.
Yeah.
So, man, these
Can
girls.
Can we not liken that to network marketing, please?
It's not, you know what I mean?
Ew.
Like he incentivized these girls to go get more girls or whatever. Yeah, it's not, you know what I mean? Yeah. But and those stories were, the girls were so devious. They all would they would tell, at least the girls who came forward would tell the story of how they got.
Yeah.
And all of them were like, yeah, she, the girl told me that I'd be giving a massage. She said she'd be there the whole time. And then all of a sudden she would just abandon me.
Yeah.
So he gets caught for this, right? He gets rung up at the state level for this.
Because he was doing it in the States.
He was doing it in Florida.
Yeah.
And he gets caught, right? And I should have looked this up before. I didn't even think about the fact that I was going to be explaining it to you. But I think the guy was a U.S. attorney in Florida. Or he's either the Florida Attorney General or he was the U.S. Attorney in Florida. There's either the U.S. the Attorney General, I believe, is the top attorney working for the state of Florida, and the U.S. Attorney is federal, right? One of those two came in and just circumvented the entire case. They just jumped inside of this thing. This is one of the biggest trafficking cases ever.
Yeah.
250 kids, 250 high school kids.
Yeah.
And what he ended up pleading guilt or getting rung up for was one count of soliciting sex and one count of soliciting sex from a minor. That's it. One count. So you're not saying one girl, you're saying one time with one kid. Okay.
Yeah.
So his punishment was 1 year in jail. And during that 1 year, 6 days a week, he was allowed to leave for 12 hours a day. And he also was allowed to leave Florida for work and fly to New York or his island.
Oh.
So during his confinement, he could just go to his island or he could go to New York and stay in his thing. He was completely
free.
Not confined
at
all. He was doing whatever he wanted, right?
And so that's where the whole thought that he might actually be an informant or whatever.
The guy who got him off had direct ties to the Clintons. That's, you know, and then obviously later on
right.
And then later on when he got really caught in New York for real, and they went into his house, he had the fucking painting.
Monica Lewinsky.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, but that was after this. This right here is all just based on that case down in Florida. Now, Trump hates that guy. Something like the story of what happened between him and Trump is like, because listen, obviously we're fans of his here, you know, like, listen, like there's so much going on. Like, I feel like I need to just preface this like this. There's so much going on right now in the American government that could, like, I am not smart enough nor trusting enough in anyone on earth to have blind faith in things this radical. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not, you know, like I assume these are going to have good outcomes.
Yeah.
But I'm not trusting of anyone enough to just kind of go, no matter what, I will march behind, you know, like I'm not against it, but I'm also just kind of like, we'll see, dude.
Yeah, it's radical.
We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Hopefully it's going to be good. I have faith, but nonetheless. So like, there are videos of like, you know, young Trump and Epstein. They clearly were like buddies, at least, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, like Trump is super young in this one video, and they're like, it's very obvious that like him and Epstein are looking across the room, and he's like, hey, look at that one right there.
Yeah.
That's the video that all these people are like, look at him.
Yeah.
It's him. You're all, well, as long as he's not looking at a 15-year-old, then who cares? You have any idea how many times I've done that move?
Exactly.
I do that to Gabrielle. That exact thing, that exact exchange between him and Epstein, I did that last week with Gabrielle. Hey.
Look at that one. Uh-huh.
Huh?
It's true.
What about that? What about that, Gabrielle?
It's true.
Let's see what she's doing. Gabrielle's like, shut up, Jesse. But anyway, but they had a falling out. And the rumor is that it's because Epstein made a pass at some towel girl at Trump's fucking resort, like a young towel girl, like a 15 or 16. And then Trump banned him forever.
Wow.
So, you know, assuming that's exactly what happened, it's kind of, you know, and the fact that he was talking about the island publicly, pretty sure he's not involved in any of that kind of shit at all, obviously.
A man of morals.
Do you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Lo?
No, yeah.
Like, yeah. The
It's
guy
one
might
thing to be like, to look at women and drool over them or whatever, but women.
Well, also, he obviously, like, Trump is, no one would ever deny Trump's like a womanizer.
That's what I'm saying.
And,
like
and has had affairs.
Yes.
With grown-ups.
With grown-ups, exactly. Still not ideal, also not illegal, and not
leaving a trail of victims.
Terrible crime.
Right. And that, you know, what I always think about too is where they're like, this thing with Stormy Daniels. I'm like, hey, what's a more victimless crime than having an encounter with a person who has sex professionally?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the guy or it's like that, or, you know, a porn star or whatever, or, well, she found out that he had gotten a high-end prostitute. You're like, I mean, that's like, there's like cheating, and then there's like, you know, jerking off in your hotel room, and then getting a hooker's kind of right in the middle of that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. That is the most emotionless, like transaction of all time. You know what I mean? It's like,
got it.
You know, this one, it's like, oh, we have like a connection. I trust you. You know, I trust you enough to come back to your hotel. This one, it's like, I'm going to pay you. You come here. I'm going to borrow your body for 5 minutes. Get the fuck out.
Got it. 5 minutes.
I'm assuming, like, you know, other people. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't do it. So, like, I'm saying, like, other people, I assume.
Yeah, because I would kill you.
I'm saying, like,
I'm just saying.
I know. I couldn't afford a hooker to be there as long as I would need him for.
Oh, brother.
Okay, so anyway, so let's go through. How long did we do? 14 minutes? Nice. All right. So here's the story. Let's listen to our buddy talk about this here.
Look, I don't blame people that are so used to being lied to, thinking that, oh, we're never really going to get what the FBI has on the Epstein files. And we'll never get it all because the bad guy's been in control for decades and most of it's probably been destroyed. But 14 terabytes were retrieved 3 weeks ago when Pam Bondi and Kash Patel raided the FBI headquarters in New York. They made the head of it step down who was covering it up. And then she said, we've got truckloads of it. It'll take a few weeks to go through it. Well, she came out yesterday and said, we've identified hundreds of new victims. It'll take time to process. We got to take out their names, but we're investigating now, and those involved will be prosecuted.
Hundreds of new victims, he said.
Wow.
Hundreds of new victims.
Then Kyle Seraphin was scheduled for weeks on my show about the FBI files got released a month ago, where I was the target of a national security investigation under Obama that went through the Trump administration. He didn't know about it. But when I learned this new information as a side note from him today, before he went live, I said, let's forget about me being persecuted. Let's talk about what you just told me. And he goes, well, here, I'll just show you. So he showed me the text messages the last few days and today from the D.C. field office, told me the guy's name, said they're patriots, just don't say their names, but they were happy for me to know, they're listeners. And we're talking the FBI field office, in there, around the country, but also the D.C. headquarters. It was also field offices, showed me those around the country. And they've been given 14 plus terabytes, video, audio, files, just horrible stuff. And they're having to get volunteers, that's how it works, to go in and actually watch it, because it's, you know what it is. Serious crimes against children. And they've been ordered, and it was in the news. Pam Bondi said, I've got a task force, it's top priority, 24 hours a day. It's our main focus to go through all this. And what we got in the truckloads that the deep state and the Democrats, were hiding in New York, where they were running it with Comey's daughter that ran the investigations, the cover-ups. And
yeah, you know about that, right? Mm-hmm. The James Comey's daughter. You know who James Comey is, right?
I mean, I know these names, but
James Comey was the FBI agent who was the director of the FBI and who was the one who brought the Russiagate stuff to Trump. And Trump ended up firing him. And then he's he's an arch nemesis of our, right? And so
his daughter
is the one who was prosecuting Ghislaine Maxwell and who was running the entire Epstein thing. You're like, oh, cool. Hey, no reason to be suspicious of that at all.
Right.
People that don't get this, let me explain this to you. If Trump was going to use that for blackmail in the deep state or a cover-up, he wouldn't distribute the files to the FBI field offices across the country. Like, here's the full file, go investigate, bring us cases. And that's the order. So when you're centralizing something, you run out of D.C. No, they've given it to the field offices. So they've given it to the field offices. That's the first level of the cover-up falling. To give it, because there's some good FBI agents, quite a few, but they're compartmentalized around half.
Think about that, actually. Yeah. I didn't, when I covered this yesterday, I was just talking about mostly about the terabytes. But think about it, like, he's right. Like, if you were going to go through this surgically and kind of go, all right, so what are we going to use? What are we going to make cases with?
You
keep
disseminating it. Yeah.
You keep that in house. Mm-hmm. You give it to everybody, and you're like, everybody start going through this, bring me cases, and it's like, whoa, because anyone who watches it, they're going to see people on the thing. There's no scenario where you're going to
keep anything quiet.
Yeah, you can't just go. You can't call your superior, who's kind of like a dirtbag like you, and you're like, "Hey, man, I got Bill on here, man. Like, what are we going to do?" It's like,
19.
Hey, you already know 19 other. Like, you think you're going to call all the other offices? Yeah.
Half, I would say, according to my sources and experience, are good people. They deal with bank robberies, kidnappings, real stuff, money laundering. And the others at the top are political. So I'm going to say it again. They got the files in a raid 3 weeks ago. And now in the last few days, they distributed them, and so many agents got on it that it crashed the servers. Wow. But it's back up. So Trump has released the files, released the hounds, like when they release beagles or whatever, or foxhounds to go after the fox. Trump has cried havoc and loosed the hounds of war, William Shakespeare. Okay? So he has set them loose to bring the cases to the DOJ that's been told go after it.
Here's my only concern about this whole thing is, I mean, I don't think that I'm speaking out of class here, assuming that Israel is behind Epstein, because that is almost certainly the case. I don't need to get into the whole weeds of that, but it's almost a certainty. Ghislaine Maxwell's father was the most prolific Mossad agent ever. Okay. He's also a sociopath who stole $670 million from his company's pension fund. He's one of those guys. These people that these corporate raiders from the 80s that could buy a company and just liquidate it and just take the entire pension fund. Yeah. It's insane that was even a thing. That's how they would analyze it. They're all, okay, so I could buy this company, I could buy this company for whatever, sell off all the assets, recuperate my investment, and then I just take all the money from the pension fund and I just keep it.
It's insane.
It's barbaric. That's what the movie Wall Street is about. The original Wall Street is that exact thing. But anyway, so he did that. And he was directly connected. He had this super suspicious death on his yacht, and then Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's fucking. So like the story has always been, was Ghislaine the actual who's the one who's running the operation, and like, you know, Epstein is just kind of like the face of this thing.
They needed to have a man there or whatever.
Who is a sociopathic kitty diddler with no morals whatsoever, and is great at walking into rooms like, hey man, how you doing?
Yeah.
You know, because he made friends with all these people. You know, you just have to be personable. It's like, if you think about the, how well do people really know people that they see as much as he would see them? Like, you get on a plane, you have a conversation for a few hours, you end up on the thing. It's like, hey, we're gonna have a good time this weekend. You do whatever. Like, you don't know that. Like, you don't know those people that well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
I would have been amazing at that if I was a psychopathic sociopath. It's like that's the part that's missing. If all I have to do is just, you know, network people, make friends with them, I'd be great at that. Then you're like, now you need to feed children to them. I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I literally can't even wrap my brain around what went on at that island. It's like, I think half my brain literally says, I can't. It's the craziest thing. Like,
I think it's probably most of the time less like insane than than most people probably think. I think what it is mostly is probably the senior trip that we had, except minus a year or two. Mm-hmm. And then these billionaires that are like, ooh, you know?
Maybe.
Like, that would be my guess. But I also,
for those that don't know what we're referencing, we were just in Cancun.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of seniors running around drunk and wild wearing practically nothing.
Yeah. There were these girls who came in, and like, because Gabrielle and I were talking about, we're like, oh, it's spring break. And then like, so we were looking for, I'm like, I wonder if that's a sorority.
Yeah.
Originally, like at the airport. Then these girls all came in when we first got there, the first day we were there. And I was like, oh, apparently it's sorority spring break, right? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. And it was their senior trip. So all these girls were 17. There was 60 of them.
It was a lot.
60. And yeah, I mean, so it's like, you look at their faces though, they look young, dude. Like,
for sure, 100%.
They look young. As soon as you're talking to one, you know, you're like, okay, this is a fucking kid.
Yeah.
But again, if you're a billionaire twisted fuck who can have whatever they want, it's like, well, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that, except if you go to,
things are off limits.
Yeah, unless you go to the island.
And then you get caught for it.
With Epstein. And now you're going to get rung up for it. What I was saying on my video yesterday is
how scared do you think people are right now?
I was like, I mean, I put it in a way that you probably wouldn't have done it, where I was like, there are people sitting here right now that are hearing this news, and they know.
Oh, yeah.
They know what they did.
They know what's on that tape.
And so they're like, this finger has been somewhere bad.
No.
Now I'm going to put it on the trigger of something pointed at my temple, and you know what I mean?
We'll see that happening.
That is that's like, it's what's that? Poetic, you know? Shouldn't have done that. That happens all the time. Like that's why To Catch a Predator ended up going off the air,
because people would
no because it was actually a politician, an elected politician, a really high one. I can't remember if it was like the attorney general. It was someone who was like a big deal in their area, and Dateline came to their house and like surrounded their house, and they shot themselves like while they were filming. And then that was like the end of the.
Can't say that I feel bad about that.
No, and that one, the kid was like 13 that they thought they were talking to. You know what I mean?
Yep. Later, buddy.
Yeah. Good night. That's the kind of thing that you just need to keep to yourself. All you have to do
is not do that.
All you have to do, even if you're wired like some twisted fuck, is just not do it. Like, you can in the back of your mind know, like, oh, I think I'm broken in that department. You have a wife, you have kids. Like, just live that life. Just don't do it. Mm-hmm. Even if you were born broken, cool. Just don't do it.
Exactly.
Then you wouldn't have had to kill yourself.
Seismic.
Oh, you have 4 minutes.
I do.
All right. Well,
this is massive. This is historic. This is huge. Do you understand? They got the files, the hidden stuff, what they got. Importantly, it's insane. They already found hundreds of victims, so there's real stuff in there. And I guess the FBI had saved some of the videos and hard drives they got from Epstein's Zorro Ranch and New Mexico and Little St. John's and the Caribbean and his New York thing and all of it. So this is insane. And all Trump's actions today were cutting all the funding to Planned Parenthood, releasing Crossfire Hurricane, on and on and on, going after the election fraud with executive orders. They're so powerful. I mean, this is incredible. I mean, day 63 is amazing. I mean, Trump has released the files to all the FBI offices. Total decentralization. They never do that. Hoover kept his blackmail files in a safe in his house. This is the complete opposite of that. This is revolution. This is the info war. The globalists try to destroy America, try to kill Trump, try to destroy me, they try to destroy you. They fucked around and they found out.
Dude, and you wonder why they put so much effort into destroying that guy's life. That's why.
Yeah.
This guy predicted, like, he's known so much shit in advance, and they did everything they could to make him out to be completely
Insane.
batshit
Yeah.
insane. And you're like, but
He hasn't been wrong.
I mean, he has been wrong, I think, a few times. I mean, like the Sandy Hook thing, you know, they say like, oh, Sandy Hook. And I'm sure he's wrong about that because I would never say otherwise. But I'm just saying, like, based on how hard they went after that, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
I mean, and this is like, who knows, dude? Who knows? I mean, actually, I kind of do know that one because my mom knows someone who was there. That one happened. But nonetheless,
Really?
that's what she says.
They got to her too. Kidding.
I mean, there have been a few things where I've dug under the hood on, like, you know, so how do you know them? Or
Yeah.
like, oh, so wait, so your IQ test was what? You know, and then it's like,
I mean,
oh.
I hope that
I hope it is fake.
that would mean that children didn't die.
I hope it is fake.
Yeah.
I would much rather this be an op than have a bunch of children that were killed in their elementary school, obviously.
Yeah. Ugh, I can't.
You know,
This is somber. I can't.
look at your little brain.
I know.
We
My
broke
brain is
it.
broken between the island and the schools. I just can't.
She's not wired like me.
I'm not.
Anyway, we love you guys.
See you tomorrow.
We got a show tomorrow. Joe Rogan obliterated Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and that is what I'm going to cover on my channel today, and we are going to cover tomorrow. So come back.
See you then.
Bye-bye.